My name is Sarah Van Etten. I graduated from Siena College with a mathematics degree and an education certificate grades 7 through 12. I also got my extension so I can teach mathematics grades 5 through 6 as well. My teaching certification is pending and the score results will be released on August 8th. For question number 1, out of all the things you could have been, why did you choose to become a teacher? I chose to become a teacher because I have a passion for helping people and a love for children. I am the type of person who will do anything to help others or see them happy. I am also a very patient and flexible person, which I think is a great quality to have when choosing to become a teacher. I also think there's something very powerful about being a teacher and being able to help shape and influence young minds of today. I can't see myself doing anything else but teaching. Actually, I've known since the moment I really understood what a career was that I wanted to teach and become a teacher. I have a younger brother that I love to teach everything from a very young age. I always helped to lead him and wanted to help him in any way that I could. Then, since I was in first grade, I started collecting supplies, posters, decorations, and old worksheets from my teachers to begin my own school in the basement of my house. Every Christmas and my birthday after that, I asked for school supplies, eventually leading to a whole school in the basement equipped with whiteboards, bulletin boards, an overhead projector, and everything I could ever need. From there, I taught everyone who would listen and enjoyed playing school for many years in that basement. Teaching is what I was meant to do. I can't imagine myself doing anything else for my whole life, and I'm so excited to begin my career teaching mathematics. For question number 2, if your greatest supporters were to describe you, what 3 words would they use? The 3 words I chose is passionate, organized, and proactive. Question number 3, consider this quote from Rita Pearson. Kids can't learn from teachers they don't like, and explain why you agree or disagree. So I agree completely with this quote. Teaching is not all about the content and the standards that need to be met. In teaching, relationships and trust are very important. A student is not going to be successful if they cannot trust that you have the best intentions for them and will do anything to make sure that they are successful. If they feel unsafe or uncomfortable in your classroom, they will not be successful. Also, if a student does not feel like they are respected, for example, if they feel like you're beating them down or being mean to them consistently for no reason, they'll have trouble being successful in your classroom. They're going to begin to form resentment and hate coming to your class, which shuts down learning. Students need to feel like you respect them in order for them to give you the respect and trust that you need in order to push them towards success. Helping your students learn and be successful starts early on when you begin the year and start building relationships with your students. I think as a teacher, you should want to know about your students, what they like and don't like, or how they learn best and what they struggle, or in what ways they struggle to learn. Getting to know your students and genuinely showing that you care about them helps create this relationship that's so important and will help form trust that will lead to more success in your particular class. A student needs a teacher that encourages, supports, and guides them, as well as respecting them at all times. Without having those qualities to help build a relationship, it's super difficult in the classroom to reach a student and making it really hard to teach the content that you need to. So it all starts with the relationships that you form with your students. Question number 4, what is the difference between a good teacher and a great teacher? So a quote that I actually heard when I was at Siena is by William Arthur Ward, and it says, "The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, and the superior teacher demonstrates, the great teacher inspires." So I totally believe this quote, and I think in order to be a great teacher, you need to be able to inspire students, not just explain or demonstrate a concept. Part of your job as a great teacher is to be a role model and help the student reach their goal inside and outside the classroom. You want to make sure your students know that you believe in them and support them. Other qualities or traits that I think differentiate a great teacher from just a good teacher would be flexibility, being positive, possessing empathy, being accommodating whenever possible, encouraging all your students, having creativity, being compassionate, and possessing the ability to connect to all different people. These are all qualities that I think a great teacher has that maybe a good teacher might not. It's important, and I totally believe that teachers have a huge impact on the students' lives, and it's important to make sure that that impact is positive and inspiring for your students. At the end of the day, a student might not remember the math formula you taught them, but they will remember how you made them feel and what you thought about them in that particular class. So it's important to make that impression a good one. The final question, what do you see as the best thing about public education today, and what do you perceive as the biggest challenge? So the best thing I see about public education today, although I think it's kind of hard to narrow down to one thing, but the best thing that I can think of is diversity within the students and how there's more access to curriculum and teachings for all different people in a community. When we create diversity in public schools, students are learning to share this world with other humans from various racial, ethnic, and religious backgrounds. And I think that the more diverse an environment that they grow up in or are taught in, the more well-adjusted they will be for the adult world. I also believe that it's very rewarding as the teacher as well to be able to teach to such a diverse group of students and be such an influence in these young students' lives. Diversity can be such a positive and powerful thing, and having more of that only enhances our minds and our classrooms. On the other hand, one of the biggest challenges I think public schools face today is standardized testing, or how we're choosing to measure success in our public schools. Standardized tests are supposed to measure students' performance and help ensure that all students are being proficient in the course material, and it's also meant to hold public schools accountable. But now there's a large emphasis on the test scores and performance that some teachers are turning into an approach that's just teaching to the tests. I feel like less time is spent on things such as relationships, communication, and life skills, and more time is spent getting the students to grasp the material that they need to succeed on the test, increasing the scores for the school. Also, for some students, their performance on a test is not nearly an accurate depiction of their learning throughout the year. Students learn a whole bunch through your classroom throughout the year, and it's not always tested on the standardized tests. There's a lot of growth in other areas in your classroom if you're creating an inspiring environment for your students. I also feel like sometimes standardized tests is not an accurate or complete measure of the growth or progress a student made throughout the year. Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing more about this job.